Hi there. I hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you all for logging in. My name's Haley Campbell, and I'm the manager of community engagement at WeFlorida Financial. New Year, New Financial Goals is the 11th webinar of our monthly series, and we're super happy to have you on here joining us. Today, we'll be discussing how to start 2023 off on a strong note and learn about financial tips, goal setting, investing, and more. This will be an informative webinar, and I'll be providing my contact information in case you have any questions or feedback following the webinar. Let's begin. So I have my contact information on the screen. I'm going to provide it again at the end as well. My email address is hcampbell@wefloridafinancial.com, and my work cell phone number is 954-871-7525. So today's agenda, we will be covering the following topics: welcome to your credit union, financial New Year's resolutions, goal setting, budgeting and saving, investing, paying off debt. We have fun financial tips and how to join We. Welcome to your credit union. So WeFlorida Financial is a full service credit union that has been providing outstanding customer service since 1952. We're not for profit, so every member is a shareholder of WeFlorida Financial. When you deposit money into our credit union account, you become both a customer and an owner. We offer low fees and high savings rates. We also offer a range of loans, including auto, personal, home, aviation loans, and more, which have low interest rates as well. So financial New Year's resolutions. With 2023 coming up, it can be beneficial to identify personal resolutions and goals to help you achieve success in the new year. You can make these resolutions pertaining to anything in your life, but I wanted to list some ideas that involve improving your financial literacy. Some resolutions you may want to consider are: save more money on a monthly basis, improve your credit score, create a personal monthly budget, pay off your credit card entirely, spend less on eating out, manage and pay off your debt, build an emergency fund, save for a significant financial milestone, such as, buying a car or home, having a child, having a wedding, things like that. Cut back on online spending, increase your charitable contributions, save for a large purchase, for example, a vacation, new TV, phone, or other electronic device, new furniture, or a household appliance. Pay your credit card on time each month. Begin investing. Contribute to your retirement plan, and increase your income. So those are all just ideas of different financial New Year's resolutions that you may want to set for yourself. Goal setting. So now I want to discuss setting goals, which can help you achieve your resolutions, such as the ones we talked about in the previous slide. When creating your goals, it's a good idea to take the following steps first. So revisit your household budget. Start the year by revisiting your budget. Assess your average monthly income, as well as your fixed and variable expenses, and determine your financial priorities for 2023 to develop the ideal budget for you. Reassessing your budget can be especially valuable right now, as high inflation causes many people to put more funds towards essentials like groceries or gas. It's also always a good idea to double check your emergency fund and make sure that you have adequate funds set aside for the unexpected. An emergency fund can help you keep financially afloat in unforeseen life circumstances, such as a change in your employment situation or a hospital visit. A general rule of thumb for an emergency fund is saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a safe account. Prioritize your wellness. The new year is a great opportunity to continue prioritizing your personal and financial wellness. Consider taking advantage of any employer wellness resources for physical, mental, or financial health. Many companies and financial institutions offer financial education programs and digital learning tools. Using these tools can help you not only bring a sharper version of yourself to the job, but it can also set you up to make better use of other workplace benefits such as a retirement plan, equity compensation, or group insurance if available. It's also a good idea to list and prioritize your financial goals. Start by listing out your financial goals, both those you're already working towards and those you haven't started on yet. As you identify each goal, prioritize the list from most to least important. Write down specific details about each goal, such as the timeline, the amount of money you'll need, and how much you've already saved. This will help you understand what it will take to achieve each goal and build a plan. Look at where your goals fall on your list of priorities in your timeline to determine which to address first. For example, you could have a short-term goal of taking a vacation or buying a new home. You may have longer-term goals such as retirement or giving to charitable causes. Priorities are personal and differ from person to person. Keep in mind that it's possible to save for more than one goal at a time, especially mixing short-term and long-term goals. For example, you could put money away for a vacation while continuing to contribute to your retirement accounts. Make a financial plan to reach your financial goals. So now that you've identified your goals and what motivates you, the next step is to understand how they all work together in a financial plan. You can either do this work yourself or get help from a financial professional to understand how you're positioned to achieve your goals. One place to start is taking inventory of what you have and consider what you need. Document your income sources and expenses. Knowing how much money you can allocate to different goals each month gives you clear direction on how to move forward. Some more tips for goal setting are: make sure goals that give you focus and keep you accountable, no matter how long they take to make happen. When making goals, apply a SMART goal strategy. So SMART goal stands for making sure the goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Categorize each financial goal as short, mid, or long term. Set a target date for each financial goal and prioritize each goal as critical, need, or want. Know how much you have versus what you still need to save. Monitor your progress and reward yourself for your achievements. You can even make a financial vision board if you're in need of some extra motivation. Then use your goals and their timelines as drivers for your financial plan. For example, if one of your goals is to buy a home, knowing when you want to buy that home and how much it will cost will inform decisions for your financial plan. Therefore, revisit your financial goals regularly. Once you learn how to identify financial goals and have your plan in place, keep in mind that your framework will evolve over time. Life changes and other factors can affect your financial goals. It's important to review your goals at least once a year to adjust expectations, chart your progress, and review your priorities. When you take the time to reflect on the purpose behind your financial goals and put them in a realistic framework, you're more likely to stay accountable to your financial plan. Lastly, make sure you're on track with your goals. Be sure to regularly check in on whether you're still tracking toward your goals, such as saving and investing for a comfortable retirement. If you're on track, reward yourself for your successes, even the small ones. Next, I want to talk about budgeting and saving. Budgeting your money is very important and can be broken down into the 5 following steps. So first, you list your income. Next, you list your expenses. You then subtract your expenses from your income. You would then track your transactions. And then lastly, you would make a new budget before the new month begins because your finances might vary month to month. A trick to try is the 50-30-20 rule is a simple budgeting framework. Some people like to do this where they allow up to 50% of their income for needs, leave 30% of their income for wants, and put 20% of their income into savings or paying off debt. Some budgeting tips are: prioritize your expenses and goals. Automate your savings by having a portion of your paycheck automatically deposited into your savings account. Don't spend more on your credit card than you can afford to pay in full on a monthly basis. You can try an online budgeting apps. Some free ones are You Need a Budget, Mint, or Quicken. Those are all popular and free in the App Store. It's also good to prepare for the unexpected by building your emergency fund, and to also track and manage your budget through regular check-ins. Next, I want to discuss saving. Saving money goes hand in hand with budgeting and is just as important. Some savings tips are: try using the 30-day rule, which is if you see something you want, wait 30 days before buying it to ensure you truly want or need it. Save regularly by having a portion of your paycheck directly deposited into your savings account. Cancel any unnecessary or unused automatic subscriptions and memberships. For example, if you don't use your Netflix account or gym membership anymore, you can cancel them so that you're saving that money instead of it going to something you aren't using. You can reduce your energy costs by being cautious of your energy usage at home, which could potentially lower your bill. You can try an online automated savings app. Some free popular ones are Acorns, Chime, or Digit. If eligible, definitely take advantage of your retirement savings plan. You can also automate your transactions. You can use cashback apps and coupons such as Fetch. With the app Fetch, you upload your receipts for points, which can lead to rewards and gift cards. This is something I actually use on a weekly basis. It's called Fetch. You can bundle cable and internet to potentially get your bill lower. You can start a side hustle you enjoy for extra income. You can use the Roundup feature for card purchases. And also definitely reward yourself for making progress and reaching your savings goals. Next, I want to talk about investing. So investing is the process of buying assets that increase in value over time and provide returns in the form of income payments or capital gains. Whether you're just starting to invest or want to make some changes to your portfolio, it's important to incorporate an investing strategy into your yearly financial plan. Determine how much you can invest and which accounts these contributions will go to. Start by contributing to an employer-sponsored retirement plan if one is offered. If you're already contributing, increase the percentage if you can. If you have an HSA, consider maxing out your contribution. HSAs allow you to pay for qualified medical expenses pre and post-retirement. The money you invest in an HSA is tax deferred and it can be used tax-free. If you have children, consider opening in or contributing to a 529 plan. Once after-tax dollars are put into this education fund, any gains are tax deferred and funds can be used tax-free when applied to qualified education costs. If you have extra income you want to invest, consider opening a robo-advisor account. Investing is very individual, so there's never going to be a best investment for everyone. However, there are some investments that are generally considered less risky than others, and therefore a better starting place for new investors. So before you jump into cryptocurrency, for instance, you might want to try an employer retirement plan first. Some other investment types that are well suited for beginners for their relative ease and passiveness are target date mutual funds. These are kind of like the robo-advisor of yore, though they're still wildly used and incredibly popular, especially in employer retirement plans. Target date mutual funds are retirement investments that automatically invest with your estimated retirement year in mind. A mutual fund is essentially a basket of investments. Investors buy a share in the fund, and in doing so, they invest in all of the funding's holdings with one transaction. A target date mutual fund often holds a mix of stocks and bonds. If you plan to retire in 30 years, you could choose a target date fund with 2050 or 2055 in the name. That fund will initially hold mostly stocks since your retirement date is far away, and stock returns tend to be higher over the long term. Over time, it will slowly shift some of your money toward bonds, following the general guideline that you want to take a bit less risk as you approach retirement. There's also index funds. Index funds are like mutual funds on autopilot. Rather than employing a professional manager to build and maintain the fund's portfolio of investments, index funds track a market index. A market index is a selection of investments that represent a portion of the market. For example, the S&P 500 is a market index that holds the stocks of roughly 500 of the largest companies in the US. An S&P 500 index fund would aim to mirror the performance of the S&P 500, buying the stocks in that index. Because index funds take a passive approach to investing by tracking a market index rather than using professional portfolio management, they tend to carry lower expense ratios, which is a fee charged based on the amount you have invested, than mutual funds. But like mutual funds, investors in index funds are buying a chunk of the market in one transaction. Index funds can have minimum investment requirements, but some brokerage firms, including Fidelity and Charles Schwab, offer a selection of index funds with no minimum. That means you can begin investing in an index fund for less than $100. There's also exchange traded funds, or ETFs. ETFs operate in many of the same ways as index funds. They typically track a market index and take a passive approach to investing. They also tend to have lower fees than mutual funds. Just like an index fund, you can buy an ETF that tracks a market index like the S&P 500. The main difference between ETFs and index funds is that rather than carrying a minimum investment, ETFs are traded throughout the day and investors buy them for a share price, which, like a stock price, can fluctuate. That share price is essentially the ETF's investment minimum, and depending on the fund, it can range from under $100 to $300 or more. Because ETFs are traded like stocks, brokers used to charge a commission to buy or sell them. The good news, most brokers, including the ones on this list of the best ETF brokers, have dropped trading costs to $0 for ETFs. So if you plan to regularly invest in an ETF, as many investors do, by making automatic investments each month or week, you should choose a commission-free ETF so you aren't paying a commission each time. There's also investment apps. So several investing apps work well for beginner investors. One is Acorns, which I mentioned earlier. It actually rounds up your purchases on linked debit or credit cards and invests the change in a diversified portfolio of ETFs. On that end, it works like a robo-advisor, managing that portfolio for you. There's no minimum to open an Acorns account, and the service will start investing for you once you've accumulated at least $5 in roundups. You can also make lump sum deposits. Another app option is Stash, which helps teach beginner investors how to build their own portfolios out of ETFs and individual stocks. Stash also offers a managed portfolio. Paying off debt. Debt is an obligation that requires one party, the debtor, to pay money or other agreed upon value to another party, the creditor. Debt is a deferred payment or series of payments which differentiates it from an immediate purchase. Here are some ways that can help you manage your debt if you have any. So you can make a list of all of your debt. It's a good idea to start doing that. Before you start paying off debt, tally how much debt you have in total. Make a list with information for each bill you owe. The details you need to know about every debt are the debt name and account, the type of debt, such as credit card, student loan, etc., the balance of the debt, the interest rate of the debt. Some debt is more expensive. For example, it has a higher interest rate than others. You should know the payment terms and length, the minimum monthly payment, and figure out the maximum you can pay every month. Review your budget and then answer these questions. How much do you need to pay for necessities such as rent, mortgage, insurance, utilities, and food? How much do you currently pay each month towards your debt? Can you temporarily trim a few budget items to put even extra towards your debt? Do you have any extra income, tax refund, side hustle, things like that to put more money towards your debt? Then asking yourself some of these questions, I wanted to talk about some common strategies to boost your payoff speed for your debt. One option is the debt snowball, which is where you basically focus on paying off your smallest debt first while paying minimums on the others, then roll the amount you had been paying on it into payments on the next largest. There's also the debt avalanche, which is where you pay off your debt with the highest interest rate first while paying minimums on the others, and then the next highest rate, and so on. It may save you time and money over the course of your debt payoff. There's also debt consolidation, which is where you combine multiple old debts into a single new one, ideally at a lower interest rate. making payments more manageable or the payoff period shorter. There are a few ways to consolidate debt, including balance transfer cards and personal loans. You could also use a debt management plan. If you're facing a mountain of credit card debt and not making much progress, a nonprofit credit counseling agency can set up a debt management plan to cut your interest rate and put you on a repayment plan. Then once you have a debt payoff plan in place, follow these tips to stay on track. Stick to a budget. Whatever strategy you use for paying off debt, you'll need a budget as we spoke about earlier. Otherwise, it's too easy to get off track. With a budget, it's easy to see where each dollar is going, which will help you identify areas where you could cut costs and save money. Also, start an emergency savings account. There's nothing like an unexpected car repair coming to ruin all your plans to get out of debt. Life will continue to happen while you're focused on how to pay off your debt, which is why you need an emergency savings account if you can begin one. Try and reduce your monthly bills. If you're wondering how to pay off debt and save, consider ways to reduce monthly bills. Lowering monthly expenses frees up money that can be put towards paying down debt. Are there any unnecessary expenses that can be cut? Maybe drop Netflix or cable for a few months to save money and free up time for a side hustle. If the heating or air conditioning bills have been out of control, many utility companies offer free energy audits, which would identify changes you can make to curb utility costs. You can also earn extra cash. So having a side hustle has become super popular so people can have more than one stream of income. Many people now maximize free time by making jewelry to sell on Etsy, driving for a ride-sharing service such as Uber, or dog sitting. The answer to how do I pay off my debt could be simply brainstorming ways to earn extra cash. What are your hobbies? Do you have any skills you can monetize? Which side gigs would work with your daily schedule? Find a way to secure extra cash flow and apply those earnings to paying off debts. Have your end date in sight. You should be able to get a rough idea of how long it'll take to hit your debt payoff goals based on your current repayment efforts. Maintain a countdown of how long it will be until you've achieved your objective. When you remind yourself that your sacrifice is only temporary, it's easier to stick with your plan. Plus, as you get closer and closer to the time you're debt-free, you'll be more and more motivated to make extra payments. This can even help you accelerate your end date. Focus on why you want to be debt-free. For most people, there's a reason to try to become debt-free. You may be motivated by a desire to buy a house, for example, or because you want to retire early by investing more in your 401k after your loans have been repaid. Whatever your goal, remember that you're sacrificing to achieve it. You can even put a picture in your wall or on your computer desktop to remind you. If you see your dream house or an old couple lounging at the beach every time you're tempted to spend, it could give you a quick reminder of why it pays to devote your extra cash to debt payment instead. Also, it's important to celebrate success and stay on top of future debt. Sometimes debt can be good to help you build a credit score or accomplish goals, such as buying a house, that would be hard to do without a loan. But lots of extra debt can weigh down your credit score and add up to interest you didn't want to pay. So celebrate every extra payment and every debt payoff too. We have fun financial tips. So WeFlow Financial is partnered with Zogo to provide you with a gamified financial literacy app that teaches everything from opening a bank account to saving for retirement. You win rewards for completing bite-sized financial literacy lessons on intelligently saving, spending, and managing your money. If you're looking for ways to further your education, Zogo is a free app that teaches you about finance and pays you to learn. You can download Zogo in the App Store for free by using code WeFlorida. How to join We. How much does it cost to join? There's simply no fee. Simply open your savings account with a minimum $5 deposit. This represents your share of credit union ownership. As long as your $5 stays on deposit, you're eligible to benefit from any credit union service, including applying for loans, mortgages, and more. You have to live or work in one of our 46 Florida counties, including Broward, Miami-Dade, and West Palm Beach. You can also be a family member of an existing member. You can apply online at wefloridafinancial.com or by coming into any of our branch locations. We connect. So we are on all of these social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. All of our handles are We Florida Financial, except Twitter's is WeFL Financial. So it's always good to follow us. We talk about different promotions we're running, financial literacy tips, events that we have going on, and more. So definitely follow us. If you have any questions or feedback, once again, my email is hcampbell@wefloridafinancial.com. My phone number is 954-871-7525. Also, if you want a free $25 on me, you can sign up at wefloridafinancial.com and enter your promotional code community25 when it asks how you heard about us to get $25 on me. Once again, that's community25. Your account just has to be open 90 days, and then you will receive the free $25. So we've come to the end of our New Year, New Financial Goals webinar. Thank you so much for taking your time to log on and learn about how to prepare for the new year and achieve your financial goals. Feel free to email or call me if you have any questions regarding the presentation or about We Florida Financial. Have a great rest of your day and Happy New Year.